From casino floors to grand arenas, heavyweight champion Alex Pereira has taken the MMA world by storm.
No one has risen to the top so...
Shama.
The Octagon.
Oh, he hurt him! Oh, and now we're right!
He hurt him bad!
Adesanya's on wobbly legs! That'll do it!
What happens when a man with the power to end fights with a single strike decides to take over two combat sports? Welcome to Legends of the Octagon, where today we explore the brutal and unstoppable rise of Alex Pereira. From the favelas of Brazil to kickboxing domination, and now UFC champion in 2 weight classes, Pereira's story is one of raw power, ruthless precision, and a left hook feared around the world. Stay with us as we break down his bone-crushing knockouts, legendary rivalries, and the fights that built his legacy. Alex Pereira's journey began in the favelas of São Bernardo do Campo, Brazil. Raised in poverty, Pereira dropped out of school at the age of 12 to work in a tire shop and help support his family. The brutal working conditions and harsh environment led him down a destructive path, and by his late teens, he had developed a serious alcohol addiction. At 21, Pereira made a decision that changed his life. Determined to turn things around, he stepped into a gym for the first time. Despite starting late and having no formal background in combat sports, he quickly showed natural talent, especially in striking. His relentless drive and raw knockout power earned him the nickname Poten, meaning stone hand in the Tupi-Guarani language. By 2014, Pereira was competing internationally and made his debut in Glory Kickboxing, the world's premier kickboxing organization. In his first Glory fight, he faced Dustin Jacoby, an American striker who would later fight in the UFC. Pereira overwhelmed Jacoby with his trademark pressure and precision, dropping him with his devastating left hook for his first clean knockout in Glory. Pereira quickly rose through the ranks, and by 2017, he captured the Glory Middleweight Championship. His reign was marked by brutal finishes and clinical striking, as he carved through some of the best fighters in the world.
Brazil, introducing Alex Pereira!
His success at middleweight laid the foundation for one of the most dominant kickboxing careers of his generation. One of Pereira's most significant rivalries in Glory was his trilogy against Yusri Belgarui. Their first meeting was a competitive bout, with Belgarui using volume striking and movement to earn a decision victory over Pereira. Not one to accept defeat lightly, Pereira came back in their rematch with a vengeance. He systematically broke Belgarui down, landing heavy right hands that opened a deep cut, forcing a doctor stoppage. In their third and final encounter, Pereira left no doubt. He destroyed Belgarui's legs with vicious low kicks before detonating a massive right hand that ended the fight. This trilogy cemented Pereira's status as Glory's undisputed middleweight king. Another pivotal moment in Pereira's kickboxing career was his trilogy with Jason Wilness. Wilness had defeated Pereira twice in the past, but in May 2019, Pereira had his chance for revenge. He started fast, punishing Wilness with low kicks that caused visible damage. Pereira then delivered a perfectly timed flying knee, dropping Wilness for the second time in the fight. The contest ended in just 90 seconds, completing Pereira's redemption arc. This win silenced any critics who questioned Pereira's ability to adapt and improve, further solidifying his dominance in the middleweight division. Having cleaned out the middleweight division, Pereira moved up to light heavyweight in 2019. His debut in the division was against Denegi Abena for the interim title. Abena was ranked second and came out aggressively, but Pereira's calculated approach and superior timing made the difference. After softening Abena with leg kicks and body shots, Pereira landed a crisp left hook that ended the fight. He followed it up with brutal knees that sealed the finish. Pereira's victory made him Glory's first simultaneous 2-division champion, adding another chapter to his legacy. While conquering kickboxing, Pereira also began experimenting in MMA. His debut in 2015 was a learning experience. He lost via submission to Quemula Tony. However, Pereira didn't walk away from the sport. In 2016, he returned and scored a brutal knockout over Marcelo Cruz, proving his power was just as effective in small gloves. After a 4-year hiatus from MMA, Pereira returned in 2020 during the pandemic, fighting for LFA against Thomas Powell. With his trademark calm demeanor, Pereira bided his time before landing a thunderous left hook that sent Powell into another dimension. The viral knockout caught the attention of UFC matchmakers and became Pereira's golden ticket to the biggest stage in MMA. Pereira made his UFC debut at UFC 268 in November 2021 against Andreas Michailidis. The Greek fighter aimed to avoid Pereira's striking by clinching and grappling in round 1. But in the second round, Pereira exploded with a flying switch knee that knocked Michailidis out cold. It was a statement win that immediately earned him a legion of MMA fans. 8 months later, Pereira faced Sean Strickland at UFC 276. Strickland, ranked number 4 at the time, chose to stand and trade with Pereira, keeping his hands low. Pereira made him pay with a textbook left hook, followed by a straight right that ended the fight instantly. This knockout propelled Pereira into title contention. One of the most famous rivalries in combat sports history is between Alex Pereira and Israel Adesanya. They first met in Glory Kickboxing in 2016, where Pereira won a close decision. Their 2017 rematch saw Adesanya winning most of the exchanges before Pereira landed a devastating left hook knockout, handing Adesanya the only KO loss of his career at the time. The rivalry carried over into the UFC, where they fought at UFC 281 in November 2022. Adesanya controlled much of the fight, but Pereira's relentless pressure paid off in the 5th round. He backed Adesanya to the cage and unleashed a flurry, ending the fight via TKO and capturing the UFC middleweight championship. In their rematch at UFC 287, Adesanya flipped the script, baiting Pereira into an exchange before countering with a devastating right hand that knocked Pereira out cold and reclaimed his title. Despite the loss, Pereira still led the series 3-1 overall. Following his loss to Adesanya, Pereira moved up to the light heavyweight division. In July 2023, he faced former UFC champion Jan Blachowicz. Blachowicz relied on his wrestling early, but Pereira weathered the storm and took control in the later rounds with brutal leg kicks and precise striking. He won a split decision and earned a title shot. At UFC 295 in November 2023, Pereira faced Jiří Procházka for the vacant light heavyweight title. Pereira chopped Jiří's legs down early, then capitalized on Jiří's reckless aggression with a perfectly timed right hand. Procházka dropped to the canvas, and Pereira finished him with savage elbows. Pereira became UFC light heavyweight champion, making him a 2-division title holder in just his 11th MMA fight. Alex Pereira's journey from working in a tire shop to becoming a 2-sport world champion is one of the most remarkable stories in combat sports. He is the first fighter to hold Glory Kickboxing titles in 2 weight classes simultaneously and later became UFC middleweight and light heavyweight champion. His career is defined by his brutal precision, knockout power, and a left hook that changed the course of multiple divisions. Pereira's rivalry with Israel Adesanya, his success across 2 sports, and his rapid rise in MMA have made him one of the most feared and respected fighters in the world today. From the favelas of Brazil to the pinnacle of 2 sports, Alex Pereira's story is a testament to discipline, determination, and devastating power. Whether in kickboxing or MMA, his legacy continues to grow with each fight. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Alex Pereira's incredible journey, make sure to hit that like button, leave a comment with your favorite potent moment, and subscribe to Legends of the Octagon for more stories about the greatest warriors in combat sports history. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.